Hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends. We're playing Holler for Savage Worlds tonight. We're continuing our Blasted Beauty campaign. We will, I promise, finish Act 5. We will have met the midway point of the campaign. It'll be on the downhill. And I'm very excited about where tonight's might end. So it's actually kind of exciting because I know more than you all do. So we'll see. And we got Dan back, so we have a full crew. So we have our moonshiner amidst this potential moonshiner war. So it's good to have him around. And yeah. And Bert is wearing a beautiful hat. No one else is. Well, Chuck's wearing a hat. Yeah. Okay.
It's fine.
It's a hat. It's a hat.
It's a hat.
I used to wear hats all the time during the bad days of the hair, and now I don't wear them anymore because they don't fit anymore. So that's what that is.
Too much hair.
It's too much hair. It's indeed.
Gotta go get you some of those big fluffy Jamiroquai hats.
I'm gonna start. Oh God. It didn't register. It took like an extra second for me to think about that. All right. Let's go ahead and do some intros. Say hi to everybody, and then we'll start playing. So Chuck, tell us about old Double D.
Double D. I'm gonna punch things. I got. Yeah, we're gonna do good. Yeah, I got Cletus. My brother Cletus. Yeah,
that's
one of them.
That's all
weird.
Well said.
They one of them weird ladies that want to wife me.
Yeah, I remember that. You've come up with a lot of really fun between you and Cletus. We've had Danger Noodles. I only got half the ass left. We've got Words Are for Nerds. We've had some really good stuff lately. So yeah, we gotta keep it up. Keep it up. One day we'll open a merch store and we'll sell all that.
Nice.
And next up, Dan, tell us what you remember about Doggant.
My gosh, I had a week of practicing being Doggant last week, so I don't really remember much. And I imagine he doesn't either.
You were moonshining last week?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
I was in Vegas for a week, so I mean, it was.
There you go. Nice. That's like 4.5 hours that way for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
But he's our moonshiner. He basically is just like an alcohol wizard.
Yeah.
Who gives people buffs or hurts things with alcohol.
You contributed to the sayings that Jeff is writing down.
I just write them down. Alcohol wizard. It's just really that's a fun phrase. I like it. Okay, great. Next up, we got old Cletus. Jeremy, tell us about this Appalachian Ninja.
Yeah, man, I'm Cletus. I'm Double D's big little brother. He's got Bleedus. I had Yeetus. She was a good old dog. I had to leave her behind. We've met some new dogs here. They want us to kill their puppies, and that's weird, and I don't want to do that. We met a girl who doesn't like when people don't holler back, and it's just been a crazy time.
That's true. I have all these little things I always forget that I have all these little things for Holler. Where did we ever solidify where Yeetus is?
Like who was he staying with Mamad?
He could.
I think so.
Is okay. Yeah, he's with Mamad.
Yeah, we figured that out pretty early.
Okay,
on,
fair enough. Steven, thank you very much for 300 bits. Customarily, 300 bits goes to the GM for shenanigans. But you said y'all, so I'm assuming you want it for all of them. But no, that's fine. That's fine. After everything you put me through on Saturday, I would assume you would want to pay me back a little bit, but whatever. Next up, Melissa, tell us about Louisa.
Yeah, Louisa is our holy roller. She's here for the healing, she's here for the relief, and she's here for the smiting of fists and knives and whatnot weaponry while she is still shuffling this mortal coil.
Okay. Okay. Are people playing with pings? Did you see the new pings thing since the updated? Pings are built into the system now. Look at it. It's crazy. It's like there's look at all these earthquakes going off all over the sit stones.
Oh no, Jeff, you got to start doing the epileptic warning now.
Oh dang!
I haven't done the map screen in a while. Yeah, I gave up on maps for a bit. One day we'll use them again. Next up, we've got Character Joe. Bert, tell us about Character Joe.
I'm Joe. I do the fixing of stuff. I'm really mechanically minded, and more than once in a while here in the last fair bit, I've been just killing people.
You are
It's a
very good at
thing.
it. You're very good at repairing machines and killing people. Like those are your two
I'm
talents.
just a very methodical guy.
Yeah.
Might
I'm
not
just
be in
very
that
methodical.
order.
Yeah, definitely where they rank, we're not really sure yet, but we thought it was repairing stuff, but turns out you're pretty good at killing people. Who knew? Who knew?
I get stuff working again, and I stop things from working.
Yeah. Yep. And then finally, we've got Player Joe. Player Joe, tell us about Amian.
Yeah, I'm playing Amian, the kid that I'm trying to get as many skills and abilities on as possible. He recently picked up shooting and hasn't had to use that yet, but probably will soon. Yeah,
All right.
see how that plays out.
I did reset Benny, so everyone double check to make sure everything's okay.
Oh, yep.
in the
I've
third
got
room.
my 6.
All right, perfect. So, why don't we get started? So we are in Act 5, Cherry Bounce. You all troublemakers, you're in Ghost Ridge Mountains, which is kind of northwest of the Hogback Hills. Hogback Hills, Ashdown's kind of like the centralized, like big town within Holler, and then we are just to the northwest of those in Ghost Ridge Mountains. This isn't the first time you've been there, but you're exploring it a little bit longer now. Specifically, you're at Cherry Mountains / Old Rag. Those are these neighboring mountains with a valley between them. You've taken on a task for a fellow by the name of Amos Mulholland of Cherry Mountain. He is a famous moonshiner known all across Holler, and he's known to not have any love whatsoever for the big boys. But he's also not necessarily a politically inclined, rebellious sort yet. Anyway, you've been directed to help him with the hopes of trying to get him on your side eventually, because he's a fairly powerful name, and he's specifically looking for you to investigate a fellow by the name of Fergus Dugan of Old Rag Mountain, who is a rival moonshiner that Amos suspects has some big boy backing. And while traveling last time around, you also encountered, as Jeremy mentioned, a pack of Fenrir that was led by a talking wolf by the name of Aladolf, who told you about how Amos, your ally, the person you've taken this job for, apparently stole some Fenrir pups and has been raising them as guard dogs, effectively. And it's something that the Fenrir find fairly abhorrent, and they want you to, if possible, retrieve those pups so that they can put those pups down, because that is the way of the Fenrir. After that meeting, you all took a ferry by a strange fella in the mist known as Albin Taylor. You had to feed him or give him a bunch of birds, and he took you across this creek that was filled with all sorts of pollution and weird things. Drunkard's Creek, it was called. And then you found yourselves wandering the lower slopes of Old Rag. You stumbled across the home of Vetty and Pearson Cole. Vetty is cousin to Vernon and Fernan. These are the twins that you nearly got into a car wreck near Gilmer a couple weeks back. And also she's a family member of Cole Holler, which you spent a night in just a couple days ago. Very pregnant. She's waiting for her husband to return, but she did manage to divulge a few bits of information about Fergus Dugan, how his sudden growth as a moonshiner was somewhat inexplicable, and that there are some strange rumors about his workforce. Exactly where it comes from, what's going on. There's references to shambling men on the mountain. She also pointed you all in the direction of the lower still. So Fergus seems to control pretty much the whole mountain to some degree, or at least he's trying to. So one of his stills was on the lower slopes. She pointed you in that direction. You guys found a bunch of Fergus's men. They were talking about a woman they had recently killed by the name of Irma, that they were killed because they were getting rid of undesirables on the mountains or on the slopes. So a whole mess load of shenanigans and some stealth, some Donkey Konging, some blowing up of stills, all sorts of craziness happened. So you blew up the still, you killed a bunch of his workers, you blew up a bunch of moonshine casks. It was all fairly hilarious, and that's where we ended last time around. And we're going to pick up there. So we're going to say it's nighttime at this point. It is newly nighttime, so it hasn't been dark for too long, but it's close enough. We're going to say that you guys are still in the fiery ruins of the lower still. There's plenty of light around, all these different dying embers and flames and such. There are bodies of his workers that have been scattered about here and there, some nearby in the fire, some got blown out into the tree line. The still suffered some explosive damage, and I would say probably a cask or two maybe survived, but that's about it. Bunkhouse nearby is intact. And, and I would say, Dog, and you would realize, like, just looking at the size of the still and the amount of the cask, there's no way this meager still could have been enough to produce what Dugan has to produce to rival Amos. So there's got to be a larger or bigger still somewhere up the mountain.
We got the tap room still.
Exactly. So I turn to you guys. What do y'all want to do?
This one's just the one for show.
We haven't yet. Can we go look through that bunkhouse?
Okay. Anybody who's doing that, go ahead and give me a notice test.
Let's see how bad the dice are to start the day.
Yeah, whenever you're not around, Dan, I think I take your luck. That's what it feels like.
I rolled a 1 and a 2, so I noticed that it's dark out.
I want to keep watch outside.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. If you would like to, you can roll a notice for that instead.
Yeah, man, I want to stay out here with you, bro.
Okay.
Hey, we can do it.
All right. So Joe and Luisa go inside the bunkhouse, and Amian, I think, also went inside the bunkhouse. I think other folks are hanging out outside.
Yep.
The bunkhouse itself, it's nothing to really, it's nothing too impressive. It's there's a couple cots here and there. Called a bunkhouse is probably overstating it. But you do find, we'll say, Joe, you probably noticed this. There is in one of these, what looks like this sort of rotted looking case, like a footlocker tucked underneath one of these cots. You find a seed sower, which is the type of gun. It's kind of like a shotgun, basically, with 6 shells. And so if you go on Foundry and you type in, you can see it. It's there. It's a fairly rare shotgun. You might even have one already. I'm not sure. But you do track one down. There's 6 total shells.
I think we've just got peasant pumpers so far. So
Peasant pumper.
It's the greatest name. I love it every time I hear it. But you now have a seed sower as well. 6 shells. If you want to look that up, pretty good gun. 1 to 3d6 damage. It's got a reload of 3 though. But depending on how close, you can get a lot of damage. Then the other thing I would say you notice as you're looking around, you probably stumble across this. Whoever's inside. You find a small wooden totem, kind of tucked away in another one of these kind of sort of grimy looking footlockers, amidst some spare clothes and things like that. You find the totem, and what stands out is that it actually looks like a Fenrir, just like Aladolf and the other wolves that you saw prior. It's carved, and it's carved. The craftsmanship's really good on it, but it seems to be kind of tucked away amidst what looks like a couple other bits of woman clothing, with like little odds and ends and trinkets and things, most of which don't kind of stand out in any particular way, but the totem does. And then those of you outside, Cletus.
I got a 10.
Okay, 10 and a 9 for Cletus. You guys, as you're sitting around, you're looking, you're listening, the fires are kind of burning down. You do hear, like, in the distance, maybe about 50 feet away, you hear,
I don't know, it's not dead. We'll just go make it dead. Follow Clay's lead, sneaky over there.
All right, so as Double D and Cletus go to inspect the sound, you notice that up in one of these trees, it's scattered trees. It's not particularly, not particularly filled with a forest here, but they're scattered trees. You see one of those fellas that was at the still, likely you would imagine the one that got blown up when Joe's sabotage of the machinery triggered. you see him about 10 feet up a tree, partially impaled on this broken black branch. And he just kind of is looking down at you all in serious amounts of pain.
Sucks with you. Oh, I always see on up there, you kick them off.
All right, man. I mean, I'm an asshole, but no. Too much.
Wait a second. I think I remember here, son, when you get stabbed with the thing, you don't pull it out because you got the hole. I guess a hole is a word, doesn't be a stab. So go over there and break the branch.
Right.
Then it fall out, catch him.
Maybe I just break his neck.
No, you make him, keep him alive.
All right, then. You hoist me. I'll get him.
Hoist.
Yeah, go ahead and roll like an athletics stats or something like that. You could take a +1 from Double D giving you a hand.
There.
Okay. Athletics. +1.
Okay, so you climb up. No real problems between the two of you. Climbing is kind of Cletus's thing, and you do manage to carefully try. You kind of break the front of the branch, try to slide him off, but he screams like, "Ah! Ah!"
Hey, man, come on.
And then as you try to drag, as you try to climb back down and throw him over your shoulder, you can feel like the wetness on your shoulder where his wound is kind of just pouring out. And you just hear, Mama, 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 I'm sorry I killed that woman. I didn't want to kill that woman. Mama, don't be mad. As you manage to get down to the ground.
I talked to her. She's busy at the moment because she's doing good things, but she heard you apologize just before she had to go off, and she knows you're a good boy.
Oh. Thank you, Mama. And you see he just kind of like his eyes just sort of flicker and fade off.
Man, I don't need to hear shit like that.
Okay, you done say so. I'm going to yell, I'm your damn mama.
Okay, next time you get the man in the tree.
All right, yeah.
I don't like when I get that, like when I get them feelings inside me, it sometimes like don't match up. Like it's funny, but also makes me feel bad at the same time. And I get confused sometimes, Double D.
You think less, do more.
Oh, that's a good point. Thank you.
So on his person, you can tell there is a relatively busted bow. Like you can see, it wasn't like fully kind of strung at the time, but you think it's possibly repairable. But he's got a bow on him that somehow got tangled up as he got thrown a mile.
All right, that's Joe.
Okay. All right, then back at the bunkhouse. You guys found the shotgun. You found the totem. Anything else y'all want to do?
We like
I want to
collecting
take a
these
look at this
totems.
totem. Like, is this newly created? Does it look like it's ancient and old? Is it wood? Is it stone?
It is a wooden totem, so it's definitely wood. You would probably, It doesn't look newly formed. Like it doesn't have any kind of fresh wounds on the wood. It definitely looks like it's been, it's been sort of softened down a bit here and there over time. And you can tell that at some point there's like a little hole in it. Looks like someone threaded a cord through it at some point, maybe wore it as a necklace. It's not too big. It's maybe the size of like a thumb at most. But
it's small. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a.
Yeah.
No, I take that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Can I do like
might be hinted, might have a touch of that magical stuff on it. Don't know. Take it.
Okay. Amy, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of wanting to check. I wanted to see if I could do like a cult test on it to see if it picks up as anything.
You could do occult or folklore. Either of those would probably be fine.
Okay. I'm gonna do folklore then. Eight.
You got a raise? Okay. You would probably conclude, considering just the juxtaposition of like you just ran into a pack of Fenrir and there is like this footlocker of like women's things with some basic valuables like clothes that could probably be resold, little trinkets that could be resold, and there's this, and there's Fenrir in the area. Someone who wears this type of thing is probably trying to signal something like friendship or an ally or whatever. So likely you would guess that this belonged to somebody who was a friend to the Fenrir. Does that make sense? But in terms of like magical, like there you don't sense any kind of magical properties to it specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, looking for the obvious thing. Is there like a name on the footlocker? Is this like Irma? Is there like
no, there's no
like,
names like that. It would,
shift list here anywhere of like names of inhabitants or anything like that. Keeping in mind I rolled a 1 and a 2, so
yeah, no, there's not like any kind of specific logging like that. No.
This belongs to full first blast.
right. But it seems like a fair enough assumption if there's a woman who was killed here recently, and then we come to find some ladies' belongings and no lady amongst the ones outside, that perhaps this was Irma's. Is there anything?
It seems like only one person was living here.
No, there are a couple bunks, so it's a bunk house, probably
okay.
for people who were working at the still.
Is there anything else in the footlocker other than the totem that might be identifiable for Irma? If we were to find
Just some basic clothes and trinkets and things like that, like you know, like a woven bracelet or something like that. Nothing that really stands out.
Okay, I'll take the woven bracelet. Not that I'm like looking to have it, but if we happen to run across somebody that might know her, I'll take that.
Okay. All right, so at this point, we'll say Cletus and Double D make it back. Do you bring the body with you, or do you just leave it out there?
Yeah, leave it out there. I am.
Okay.
I'll tell everyone there's another one dude dead up a tree. We pulled him down. He died.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
Bo, Joe, you can have it. It's broken though.
Yeah, make it look like Snake put him up in that tree.
We do.
Do
hand
fake
it to
snake
Bo,
mud.
you hand it to Joe. He's got 2 shotguns on his back. He's got 2 pistols on his side. He's like, thank you.
Man, I
Hey.
sure pray you don't ever fall down a hill or something. You're gonna shoot yourself 7 ways to Sunday, man.
Like firecrackers, the ones that roll on the ground and shoot the sparks everywhere.
He died in a tree.
Yeah. So at one point, Joe had sabotaged the still, had a massive explosion, and it sent a dude flying into the distance. Likely, this is that dude who just flew so far and got caught up in a tree.
So seriously though, is anyone lacking the means to shoot? Because by my inventory, I got Mama's pistol, I got a peasant pumper, I got the seed sower, I got a hideout pistol.
A regular old arms collection here.
Man,
I ain't got no
that-
way to shoot, but I ain't no good at it either. If I need to take someone down from far, I just throw a rock
Yeah, man.
or run.
Mm-hmm.
I do suppose it could be something that I could take. I'm not so much a fan of the firearms that you all seem to be collecting. I suppose this might be a little more matching to my sensibilities. Just to
Take this here shotgun. It's got a really nice interface. It's just a point and click. It's real simple, and you don't even got to be all that accurate with it.
I believe I could wrap my mind around the workings of the thing. It's just so much. I'm generally not looking to do the
Using.
tap in.
Well, the real neat thing about shotguns, you can load it up there with that rock salt, and it'll hurt a mite patch, but it won't kill somebody.
Well, now that does seem to be an interesting
enhance.
way around this. Perhaps
And
I will.
you could even shoot somebody in the eyes with that salt and blind them, but not kill them.
Joe, we can hear you murdering your keyboard, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's you.
Enhance.
Enhance.
Zoomify.
Enhance.
Exact the mainframe.
Well, I will hand over a peasant pumper. Have this.
And Louisa, as you might expect, holy roller that she is just sort of like holding it, sort of like. I do believe I'll be looking for some of that salt or whatnot to put in this, but I do believe I should do my fair share, I suppose.
Okay.
You don't have to shoot nobody if you don't want to.
Thank you, Cletus. I mean, you and your brother there sure do a fair amount of damage that I can tend to other things.
Yeah,
What?
man. We'll make the blood happen, and you stop it from happening. That's that like sometimes you get things that are like equal but opposite.
Call reverse healing.
Yeah, reverse healing.
I see we do good.
You know, we do have the forces in opposition. We've got the good, we've got the evil, and that same idea applies to lots of different other ideas. So thank you much. There was I think we may have found the belongings perhaps of that Irma that seems to have been killed by her companions.
Yeah, that fella
They
up
were
on the tree, I think, is the one who did it.
But he said he's sorry. He still died.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, at least I guess that's kind of a confession. Sort of, maybe that's a good thing.
What did y'all do with that confession? Did you offer him some reassurances?
Try to
Hey,
make us
Cletus
feel-
done got to him before I could because I was going to yell at I'm your dead mama and it would make fun of everybody. Cletus done. He done gave, like, he said nice things. It was right, but not as fun.
Yeah, man, I don't like feeling bad. Like it's one thing to have fun in the heat of the moment, but like when it's already done, like you just like I'm all for the heat of the moment thing, but the suffering bit ain't so much my thing.
I'm afraid of night.
I know you are.
Sounds, Cletus, like you eased his passing and eased his conscience, which is a good thing.
Maybe. Well, I don't know if that Irma had any family, but if she did, maybe we should carry some of that stuff with us.
I did. I took a bracelet here that might be. I'm still a little curious as to are we looking to leave this place as if it has been pilfered, or are we just looking to leave this place as if it were exploded, as the still was? And
I got that second one. I do.
Yeah, man. I agree. I think this is one of them like momentum sort of things where like people are going to be like, what the hell happened? And they're going to be sending people to come check this out. And then we just chug so fast where they have a chance to even comprehend the nonsense that we're pulling.
I see. So that works for me. We might want to impose a little bit of damage on this here house here as well if we're looking to take some things and not make it look like robbery and a murder.
You'll immediately start looking around for anything that he can turn into an explosive.
We'll say that there's maybe 2 of these moonshine casks left, so you've got something there that could burn.
I need those.
The machinery is pretty screwed at this point. So I think you've done the damage there. But yeah, I mean you could do something with that. Yeah, Doggett, you might be able to put together something with your brews.
I think we got that covered. We can make a boom of some sort.
Okay.
Maybe if we keep doing this, people will start thinking it's an act of God, just blowing things up.
Sometimes all it takes is just spreading a little bit of a whisper that some such thing might be coming somebody's way, and that folks go along with the believing of it.
I like that because our whisper's like so loud.
There are at times other ways around the problem solving, but this one seemed like a good cover for what we're doing here.
All right, so you look around, you find whatever you can that's salvageable. Not a whole lot is left that is salvageable. You leave everything as is to make it look like it was just some sort of accident. And then it's nighttime, it's dark out. Some of the fire is still kind of flickering here and there. You know that there's probably more stuff up the mountain. Other stills, maybe a hideout, something like that. What do y'all want to do next?
I guess we got to go blow some more stuff up, right?
Yeah, man. Let's go higher and higher.
Okay.
They're going to come down, come look at this. We're going to try and go up a different way than where we think they'd like to come down.
Yeah. We would do it.
Okay. So you start looking for a way to go back. Who wants to take the lead and try to kind of lead the crew up?
We blow the thing up already?
I think so.
All right, cool.
Now,
Yeah, I think we exploded the house.
I'll lead the way. I know how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you have a cask, you have fire, you could have blown up the bunkhouse. No
All
problem.
right.
That's fine. All right. Double D.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're taking the lead?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Worst thing happened.
Okay. So you blow up the bunkhouse. Everything's burning to cinders. It doesn't take too long to do it. Doggin is able to sort of figure out the best ratio of moonshine to fire, and you start pushing up the mountain some more. The slope's not too steep. It's not it's not like a terrible climb or anything like that. It's mostly just looking for trails, goat trails, things like that. You find a few places where it looks like wagons have come and gone. You see wagon ruts here and there. Kind of gives you an idea of where you're going. Sometimes you have to kind of go off-road a bit or off, kind of off the path where you kind of lose it here, lose it there. It's hard to see, especially at night. I'll say, so Double D, go ahead and roll a notice at -2 as you're leading on up.
Oh. I just got notice. I can do that one. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2.
2?
Nah, 1.
1. Okay. So as Double D is out in front, kind of moving up, kind of pushing between some trees and some brush. Cletus, maybe you're behind your brother. Double D he steps, and you hear a click, and then, and you look down, and there is a big rusty bear trap that has now closed itself entirely around one of Double D's legs. Double D, you're gonna take.
Ah!
Well, it'll explode.
Snake!
It's a
Run
big
off.
old metal snake.
You take 14 points of damage.
No,
Oh my
thank.
God.
I'll
Oh
pass.
my gosh.
No, thank you. Okay, well, you said no. You said no, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got a 6. So yeah.
6 over my toughness. What does that mean? That's a.
It's a wound. So you'll take.
It's an actual
You're
wound.
shaken in a wound. Goblin Cave TV, thank you so much for the raid. Playing some Holler.
Welcome.
I just got stuck in a trap.
Ow!
You can burn up any and try to soak.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, sure. Yeah. Let's do that. And that's spirit, right?
It is vigor for
Vigor to try. Spirits for getting rid of shaking.
right.
And vigor's for soaking the wound.
All right, let's get vigorous. Let's do it. 2.
2. Okay. So you have a wound.
All right.
So
Ow!
the bear trap is most decidedly stuck on Double D's leg at this point. It is clamped down. It's rusted and gross. It's probably going to cause some sort of infection, you would say, over time if it's not removed. But as you try to move, you're just kind of tethered or chained, I should say, to what looks like it's wrapped around the trunk of this tree. And as you try to move, you just fall down. You are trapped inside of this bear trap.
All right,
Oh,
now
no.
Double D, you done got bit by an iron snake, and if you keep
Oh.
yelling, more of them are gonna
Oh.
show up. You gotta shut up right now. You gotta shut up right now. Well, I'm gonna bravely pull this iron snake off your ankle, but you gotta shut up.
I'm gonna get a stick out of sight and kind of rustle in some leaves and be like, I think I hear one coming already.
Duncan, Starts rolling.
And can I assist with that as well? Make
You
sure, like,
are
the
strangely
mechanism's not-
strong, Amian. I couldn't even describe the number of times.
Yeah, a strength roll. You could probably get him free on a strength roll. That's fine.
Okay. Is Amian able to assist?
Yeah, that's fine. You just take one side.
Sweet. Seven?
Oh yeah, it's fine. All you need is a success. You're good to go. So
Andy, you are a stout young man.
you pull the.
I've been working out.
Have you?
You almost got yourself like a little bit of a muscle there, man. I see it.
Yeah, I call it my pee.
Aw. Oh, jeez. Okay. So,
Amian, I hope I don't get you killed.
all right. So you pull the trap off, and you set it to the side. Blood starts kind of pouring. You can tell you're terribly wounded. You go to call on Louisa, your usual medic, but here's the thing. As you look back on Louisa, I need Louisa to roll an athletics roll at -2.
Oh no.
Oh no!
This is not. This is not my thing.
Look out! It's a thing.
Oh, it's a 0.
Okay.
It's my second 1 and a 2 roll tonight.
So as you're kind of just standing around watching them sort of, scatter around, try to help Double D, go and try to terrorize Double D, you don't notice, but maybe everybody else does by the time Double D is kind of calling out for help. You look and you see that Luis is like halfway sunk into the ground. You can see like the mud and the dirt and some sort of sand or whatever has kind of to start sucking her into the ground at this point.
Oh,
Help.
don't worry, I watched a video on this at school. I know what to do.
Wait, I got rope.
Wow.
I actually got rope.
So sorry, got sick and the boy's got a goddamn leg.
I appreciate the calling out of the stuff. Can we use the rope, please? With hastily.
She says
perhaps?
as she gets completely sucked under by the as everyone calls out what they have to help.
Man, if only there was something we could have done.
We told her everything we had. She just didn't want us to do anything.
We're making a lot of noise.
Decide
now.
fast enough.
You are indeed.
So Joe wants to pull out a pistol and just be wary of anything that might be trying to dry gulch us.
You can roll a notice test for that, Joe, to keep an eye out. I'm going to need Luis to make a second athletics roll. This is at -4, but since you're getting help from Cletus,
no.
So who is supporting her? Who is helping? Like you're throwing a rope to her and you're trying to pull her out.
Yeah, I'm throwing the rope to her and I'm trying to pull her out. All right, Amian, you grab onto my haunches. You pull back. You strong little man.
All right.
All right. You squat. You get your body weight down low. That's how you get the power there. It's all about the core now.
So,
And then the dice happened,
so.
and I rolled a crit fail.
and as
you got to hold on to the rope. Oh my God, no!
So, as you guys yank on the rope as hard as you can, it just comes flying free. And when you look back, Luis's head is dipped below the actual sand. And we're going to dive into drowning rules at this point. Yeah.
I got an idea. I'm going to tie the rope around my waist. I'm like, throw me.
I just said I don't want to get you killed. But okay.
Well, then hold on to the rope.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So Abin, you're gonna go diving in. Okay.
Lay flat on your belly, okay? Spread yourself out now.
Okay.
Lay flat on your belly. Spread yourself out.
Can
All
I do
right.
one thing before all this
Belly
happens?
flop
Yes.
onto the.
Please go ahead, Doggin. What do you want to do?
A little drinking magic.
Yeah, that's fine. There's a moment to take a quick shot of something.
All right. I assume he's going to be doing athletics for this. I was going to boost lower trait.
Yep, that is correct. That's exactly what it'll be. So
I haven't done this one yet, so let me double check how I got to do this.
it's always going to be
points.
your distillery. So it's always going to be your distillery. You spend your points, yeah. And with spells, basically, there's things that you can spend extra points for sometimes to get boosted effects. So if there's an effect you wanted, you just spend the extra points.
I'm double checking. I got it all on my sheet. It's recipients. I may give one to Cletus and Joe, but they're going to be
Lucy, you can take a point of fatigue too, by the way,
Oh, well,
because you critical failed, right?
I already had a point of fatigue.
Oh, near.
So
Rip.
2 for 2 fatigue.
Okay.
Or whatever that does.
We're waiting.
All right, I think that worked. You get one die size. I don't think I got a raise with a 7.
So you have 2 points of fatigue, Melissa. That means you are
I do.
exhausted. If you take one more, you become incapacitated. So right now it's just
So-
those 2.
Cletus and Joe both get an increased die size for athletics.
Okay, so Cletus, you grab the rope, you become the anchor, you tossed Amian into this little quicksand trap. Amian, you're tethered to Cletus now. You're underneath. You've got this vigor kind of rushing through you from the boost
5 rounds.
that Doggin has provided. I'll let you roll the athletics test. It'll be -4, but with Cletus will give you a support, so it's +1. So it would technically be
Okay.
-3. If Double D, I don't think was doing anything. So if Double D wanted to help out with the
What does the
Nah.
potion effect do?
Increases your die size for athletics.
Increases die size for athletic. How do you temporarily do that?
I think you'd have to
nice.
edit it and change it back.
Yeah, that's what I usually
Yeah,
do.
sure.
Okay.
Meanwhile, help! Help!
We can't hear you. You're in quicksand. Sorry. So yeah, go ahead and roll it, Amian, when you're ready.
I'm working on getting that.
Yeah, it is true.
That'd be the wild die is increasing. in
No,
size?
you're like whatever attribute you're using, and so in this case, the athletics. So you would
Attribute.
increase your athletics die by 1 size.
Okay.
The wild die is always going to be a D6, basically.
Okay. Let's do that. Okay. And then it's -4, but I get a +1, so -3.
-3. Yep.
Okay. And I'm gonna Benny that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and we do have. Don't forget, we have audience boosts, by the way.
We do. We have quite a few.
We have.
actually.
And we're doing the whole. You get a +1 to your roll. We don't do. We're doing +1s to
Okay.
roll if you want to. If you burn 100 bits from audience, gives you a +1 on a roll.
Oh, okay. Can I add 1 on to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
To get a 4. Yeah. I'll take one of
4.
those boosts.
Okay, you are swimming around underneath this, like, well, not so much swimming as you are just searching for her, and like Louisa, you're flailing too. But the more you flail, the deeper you sink, the faster you sink. At a certain point, your arms, after a kind of an uncomfortable amount of time, Amy, to the point where you're starting to lose your breath. Cletus, he's been down there for kind of a long time. At a certain point, your hands just happen to smash into one another in the dark kind of sand below, and you kind of grab her wrist. Louisa, you grab back, and Cletus, at that point, you feel a tug on the rope, and you start pulling back up, and you see, after a moment or so, the kid, Amian, you see your holy roller, Louisa, much the worse for wear, getting pulled up out of this this little pit here that she kind of stumbled into. You both are free. Louisa, you do have 2 points of fatigue. With how quickly everyone responded, we don't have to get into the drowning stuff, but you do have the 2 points of fatigue. But you are now
What?
free. Yeah.
What in tarnation? What?
I'm dying. Ah! Quick, Cletus, come suck the poison out.
You're gonna call on more iron snakes.
Oh God! Quick, Cletus, come suck the poison out. Cletus, come over and start just like licking at my leg wound.
Oh, you are
Lucy, I
just...
really am sorry that you went through that, but he is bleeding off bad.
Well, I am a bit worn out from that ordeal. Would you be able to pick him up and relocate him closer to me so that I could
Mhm.
lay my hands on his wound there?
Yeah,
Pull
man.
that moonshine and rinse it off real quick.
While
Yeah, I gotcha.
while this conversation is happening, Joe, you've been keeping a close eye. What did you roll in your notice?
I got a 4.
Okay, you actually notice first this like a sound first, and then eventually you see a silhouette. The first thing you hear is the sounds of like wheels on gravel or on sand. Like it sounds like a cart or a wagon is coming up, and then as you're watching, it's very dark out. It's nighttime, but you do eventually see, as your eyes adjust, the silhouette of a cart being pushed, just a push cart, nothing special, like a very large wheelbarrow being pushed in this sort of very slow, plodding way. Doesn't seem to even like whoever's pushing it, this kind of slender-looking figure that's kind of pushing behind it. It's just kind of pushing it slowly down, like it's going down to the still, or it's going down to like a dump or something like that. You're not entirely sure, but they just push past you. Like they don't even look over towards you. Like you guys are making a significant amount of noise, and it doesn't seem to attract them.
As long as they ain't coming in my direction, I'll just let them go.
Okay.
Maybe they
one of
think
them
we're
Mormons
just part of
pushing
the
on
people
towards
who've been
Utah. I
hurt.
don't know.
Okay. All right. And you watch them go until they disappear, and then you kind of they're out of sight. Okay. Louisa, were you helping Double D?
I'm just feeling.
You just got that
I
seed
might
sower. That could probably help.
put out by this, but as I'm just laying there trying to kind of straighten my skirts and kind of get all this quicksand off me, I'm just kind of laying my hands and seeing what I can do with this here. I've got a -2, I believe, for my.
For
You doing all right? Bleedus helping you down there.
Is not at all assistance, but sure, from an emotional support animal kind of a perspective, that he is doing you well.
He accidentally re-triggers the bear trap.
Oh, God. Wow, they're like,
I told you to shut up, or them iron snakes would come back. The hell you don't listen for?
All right, let me read the ceiling again. All right, I got a 6, so
Okay.
that successfully
Nice.
removes the wound.
The wound is gone.
I love it.
Excellent. Okay. So
Amy,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Amy, I never really asked you. You got kin, or is you one of them orphans?
I have an uncle. I don't know where he is though. So I guess
Man.
yeah.
You are just the stoutest, toughest little son of a bitch ever. Would it be weird to say, like, I'd like to be a big brother for a change? Like,
I'd be okay with that.
You want to be like Amian Rown?
We can work out the name, but
We can work
yeah.
on a name later, but like, I'd love to have a little brother. And like, you're just awesome.
Hell yeah, I'm fine with that.
You're the best. You're the best kid ever.
But
You just
he'd
like, you're like,
light up a
throw
lot
me in
about
the
that.
quicksand, man. And you just whoop.
So
Had to.
So
You did.
You dust yourself off. You're kind of
Yeah.
covered in that, and Louisa the same.
Coughing
Your
up some sand.
Yeah, Double D, your wounds have kind of closed with the small glowing faith powers of Louisa. Joe noticed someone moving past, but didn't seem to be too concerned with you all, despite the fact that you're making very loud noise. And yeah, what do you guys want to do? Continue up?
I ain't gonna easily. Gonna save my life. Again, I think.
This has proven to be a difficult trek here. I do believe I will be hobbling my way up the back.
You done okay? Do you want like a piggyback or something?
No,
There ain't no shame in it.
Um,
Ain't no
um,
shame at all.
me and my walking stick here are still doing okay. I apparently need to use the walking stick to poke the ground and make sure that it doesn't
Thumb poke
kinda
back.
suck me down into the bowels of the earth, apparently.
You know, I think real funny about that. My chunky butt don't walk over that soft ground and nothing happen. You done step on it.
That's like a dirt snake.
Holy shit. We gotta go.
Yeah, it sounds you still leading the way there.
Yeah.
Notice -2 as we continue to push up the mountain
Oh God.
in the darkness.
Here, I got a potion for that if we want to try and make this a little less awful.
Okay.
Hey, I'll drink what you got.
Let's see here.
You got to come up with names for all your brews.
Yeah, I'll have to. All my brews that I make at home have horrible names, so I'll have to come up with some.
Nuka
This is
Cola.
let me see in the
Eye
dark.
I got dark sight. Yeah,
Oh, we call it headlamps.
One headlight.
headlight fluid.
His eyes don't get better. He just glows gets a flashlight in his forehead. Starts to glow. Go ahead and roll
It's
there.
gonna be headlight fluid.
Okay. Give it a roll.
I'm just gonna eat up almost all my power points.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just burning your guys' stuff right now. Classic.
Doing real good
You
job
got-
at
you-
it.
You guys know how this works.
Okay, you do this thing.
Okay. Your forehead begins to glow, and you start pushing forward. Go ahead and roll a notice test now, but you don't have to take that -2.
All right. So when I got healed, did that take away my shaking too?
Yeah, your shaking's fine.
All right, all
Get
right.
rid of it.
Cool. I see everything. I got 4. All right.
Okay. You do, in fact, notice there is a very strange patch of ground, probably about 10 minutes further along, kind of covered in what looks like a bunch of leaves. It's far too perfect, these leafy branches and things that have been stacked in this relatively perfect circle. And you start kind of poking around with it, you realize like everything starts to fall inward, and you see these sharpened stakes at the bottom of it. You start moving around, you see another one of these, another one of these. There
Okay.
are a lot of traps.
Dirt snakes.
There are many dirt snakes. Many dirt snakes. Yes. But
Watch out, dirt snake.
you notice a
They
few
jump
more.
out at you.
You notice a few more of them bear traps. A few more of them sand,
Yeah.
the sinkhole areas and stuff. It's just like the whole side of the mountain is like littered in these things as you're pushing through the sort of the craggly forest here. Eventually, though, you do come across a clearing, and you're kind of hiding back in these thickets. Still, double D. Your head glowing and reflecting off of the trees. And you do notice up ahead in the clearing itself, you do see another still. There looks to be a couple different small buildings and machinery, and you think there's people moving about too. Like you kind of have to put your hand over your glowing forehead so it's not too obvious, but you think there's people moving about up there.
All right, Aaron, I done seen it. They're up there. Same plan as before. Count of 3, we banana.
That what
I
we're
do
calling
have a
it.
question about
Okay.
so because we've been running into all these like set traps the whole way up.
Sure.
What percentage of them are like still primed? Does it seem like they're very regularly being checked?
Everything was primed other than the one, like everything was primed that you came up here. You probably found like maybe
Okay.
about 5 or 6 different bear traps and, about a dozen of these like pit traps as well, like all throughout.
When there's
Okay.
a break, I'll let everybody know. Hey, well, we on loan out here. I saw some folks with wheelbarrows, hand carts heading down that way. I'm sure they heard us, but they didn't make any attempt to come in our direction. I'm thinking they might be spooks of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Haints.
I know this is a dumb question, but I gotta ask: was every one of them bear traps attached to something, or is there maybe at least one loose bear trap?
I would say they're all attached to something, but that doesn't mean you couldn't try to detach it if you would like to.
Because there's a part of me that would just desperately love to throw a bear trap at somebody.
I would say you can either roll a strength test at like -2 or a repair test to try to.
What if somebody had something like thievery, which was good at what,
Yeah, I'll take that
different
too.
things?
I'll take that too. That
I mean,
makes
it's
sense.
like I got me a wrench here. If you really want them things, I can get them for you. Wouldn't it be cool if I made you some gauntlets and you can have bear traps on your hands when you punch someone? You got a bear trap on the end. You can just snap the nose off. Wouldn't that be neat?
Oh my God. I want that more than anything I ever wanted.
For 1 use each.
All right, so roll that thievery if you want to roll the thievery.
Okay, got a 5.
Okay, so we'll say you stop along the way. You're a couple steps behind, but between you and Joe, you managed to figure out a way to undo the chains and the sort of the various like hooks and things that are in here keeping it in place. And we'll say you have a big, bulky bear trap. It is cumbersome and bulky, but you do in fact have one. And it's on it's on a small chain. We'll say the chain's maybe 10 feet long. We'll say at most, but it's heavy. It's very, very heavy as you're carrying it around.
Chain too. Oh man.
Anybody who wasn't doing that and is up by the thicket with Double D, who wants to roll a notice test to sort of scout what you're seeing, you're welcome to do so.
Let me see if I can get my dice luck to turn around here.
Yeah, hypothetically, if there was an Appalachian ninja.
7 appears to be my number for the night.
It's a good number, man.
Yeah, you got
Not bad.
4.
Okay.
Just short of a raise, though.
Doggett and Louisa, as Double D is getting ready to charge in, you two notice something. You notice, first of all, that there are it's late at night, and you see that the still is active. Okay, so there's tons of work that's going on here, but you don't hear a single voice. No one's talking to one another. Like, no one's talking whatsoever. You hear the sounds of, like, tools working and stuff like that. A clink here, a clink there. The sounds of the still kind of chugging along, wheels on the ground. As you look a little closer, you start to notice that the people that you're looking at, well, something looks a little off about them. They're kind of shambling around, moving in a way that almost seems kind of slow, like a little slower than a normal person. There's no pep to their step. You can see one or two of them, they're just sort of slowly walking around in circles, like they're confused. All of them are wearing, like, tattered clothes. And then you notice that their skin looks a little strange. It's all, like, sickly green. You see these, like, little patches of, like, necrotic flesh here and there. Bones suddenly are visible, protruding from, like, all sorts of these rotting patches. You can see, like, half a jaw that seems to be kind of hanging down there, a rib popping out of the side, a kneecap that seems to be suddenly shorn away. You can see it underneath the skin. Eyes, all of them are this, like, kind of piercing bronze that's kind of illuminated by this weird artificial light, not unlike Double D, that seems to be propped somewhere in their skulls, except it doesn't have that kind of, like, his whole forehead is glowing. This is a very precise light. You're pretty sure these might be undead. I want the three of you who are up here, because I think it was, well, I know Joe and Cletus were messing around with the bear trap. Dog ain't Double D, Louisa, make a fear test. Amian, are you up here?
Oh.
I don't know if I'm up here yet.
Okay.
I think I was.
All right. We'll start with
messing with the bear trap as
Trying to remember, that's just straight up spirit.
just straight spirit. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No penalty or anything like that. Just straight spirit.
I got 5, but yeah,
Oh, Twitch
I've seen scary things.
Twitch just gave me 500 bits for a bear.
Moonshine bear.
Oh God.
He's hopped up on the moonshine.
I'm going to spend a penny because I didn't pass. And I got a 4.
Okay, so all three of you passed. It's a little unnerving seeing all these people.
Louisa's like blessing herself.
And there are quite a few of them. This is not a there's some, seems to be at least a dozen, maybe more, kind of milling about. Some of them are working, you can definitely tell, but others look to be confused and they're like not doing what they're supposed to be doing. What do you guys want to do? We'll say three up here, you have something to do before the rest catch up.
I say we do Zeta formation.
You have to explain that one to me.
Oh yeah, we just yell banana and run in there and bash them all in their faces.
Isn't that same as all the rest of them?
Wait, what?
Is that the same as all the rest of the formations?
Nah, Delta formation is for running away. Zeta formation is for reverse running away. Come on, man, keep up.
Nobody gave me the playbook before I joined.
Listen, it's fine. I can't read anyway, so I don't think I can write any good either.
Might we want to throw something in there and see what they do when they are confronted with a difference in their pattern?
I could throw a bottle bomb in there.
I like that. I think you talk about something less fun though.
I don't suppose it matters what it is. Just seeing how they. I don't quite understand how these undead just.
Do I see a
just
rock?
shake their head.
A rock?
Come
Yeah,
on.
of course. Of course.
Yeet! Get on out of here, rock, and throw it at there. Well, yeah, just in the middle, make noise.
Okay. You throw it out there, you get this big hunk of like basalt, something sitting on the ground. You just hurl it out there like a shot put. It drops right in the middle of where you can see there's maybe 3 of these worker ghouls, things, whatever they are, just kind of wandering about. And it just makes all sorts of racket as it lands on like a couple other bits of metal. No reaction. Don't even look.
Over there, I'll be like, "Ooh, I'm all look out, zombie, I'm done," and then you be like, "Bottle bomb." We'll be like, "Yeah."
Joe, maybe this is what you were talking about earlier when the cart was going by, and it seemed like they would have heard our commotion, but they didn't appear to do anything.
I think you have something there.
We'll say at this point, Joe and Cletus and Amian, you catch up. Amian carrying this big old, the chain around your neck like it's a giant snake pet, and you've got the bear thing in your hand as you come up next to your brother.
And you was
Killed
exactly
a
that.
goddamn iron snake.
I did it for you. This is the one what bit you.
Oh, it's goddamn bad air right there. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Do we have to make that same?
Yeah, once it's pointed out to you that these are a bunch of like ambling mobile undead, yeah, go ahead and make a spirit test. The 3 of you just came up.
Oh man, spirit test.
All right.
Amian's got spirit.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
All right,
I thought
man,
you
that
guys
is weird,
going into some sort of cheerlead chant there.
man. W, you're saying you tossed something at them, they didn't even respond.
Hey, big old rock hit, made noise, did the goddamn thing.
We might be able to just walk up there and
And
I
Yeah.
guess something I need to test out. I'm gonna use the bear trap at one of them.
Okay. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Just roll an athletics test.
I'm real sorry. I just had to.
You do like a scorpion from Mortal Kombat, like get over here.
Get on over here. Yeah.
They don't seem to be paying attention to us. Do we got the drop on that?
Yeah, sure. You can take a drop.
That'd be a 9 then.
Okay. So as you're in this thicket, you see one of them get relatively close. There's like a sound of a thicket, or excuse me, of a stream nearby, and you see it kind of wandering, and you just like hurl it out. The bear trap's like kind of wide and open, and it slams into him, and then it just chomps in right on him. Roll a 2d6, and it's you can explode it.
All right, 2d6. $2d6 plus 4.
Yeah.
So
Oh, look at that. There's an
we roll-
explosion there.
So let me re-roll that 6 on there. So we got an 11.
Oh God.
We got 15. We got 19.
It slumps down right on their torso, and completely flattens it. Their head just pops right off into the air and flops down to the ground in pieces.
That's goddamn cool.
and then what
I'm a
happens?
snake charmer. Look at me.
I accused myself. Never mind.
Doesn't do anything else. To answer your question, Louisa, no response. Nothing else.
Yes,
It
we
made a lot of
probably
noise,
just-
yeah, but no response.
Seems to me like we could just go walking wherever we want to go.
Just go ahead and go on and blow it up.
I would like to just walk around and see what we can find.
Now, I would like to put out, and Miss Louisa, I think you are just like the kindest, smartest woman ever. I would put out an opposing viewpoint, being that the person who could make these things do what they're doing could maybe make them do something different too. And if we leave a whole bunch of these bitches right behind us, they might come biting our ass later. And I don't like being bit in the ass.
We only got one cheek.
I
was
only
just
got one
thinking that
cheek.
We could be in and out, and no one could have been any of the wiser.
Oh
I
man,
think-
yeah.
Oh wait, we are killing them.
I don't know.
I'm confused. This lady's gotta be clear. I ain't hearing no good.
I'm just saying, I'm feeling like just walking around and poking around, and y'all can do whatever you want to do.
Okay, we hear told we stay quiet. All right. Okay.
Do we know if they react to, like, have we got close enough that they seem to notice us?
The closest I think was Cletus throwing. He had to get within 10 feet, and he threw, and it didn't seem to respond to him. No.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to see if I can poke one.
Has it been an hour yet in game time?
Since the lower still, I would say, yeah, it's probably been about an hour since you're at the lower
I
still.
now have one instead of 2 fatigue.
Okay.
If that's
You also-
how
I feel
it
like-
works.
I feel like because Amian did so well on his spirit test and he's curious, he wants to see if he can poke one, if it'll react to him.
Amian, you move up carefully, quietly, stick into the darkness as best you can. You
Yeah, but
see,
look at him. I done told him he's family. Look at him. He's gonna poke that
Shit.
one.
Oh shit.
He's gonna do it.
you see that there's one of these ghouls that is by this large kettle that's sitting over top of a fire, and it's just got this big old stick, and it's just looks to be mixing a mash right on top of the kettle. Just kind of those glowing bronze eyes, just kind of staring off into nothing. His jaw kind of kicked off to the side a little bit.
I'm going to sneak up behind him, just kind of like slap the back top of his head,
You get up to it.
and then run.
Okay. Roll a notice test as you come up here.
Okay.
As you're inside here.
10.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, a couple things. You notice as you get up and you go to smack the back of the head of this stirrer, that there is this long scar across the top of this creature's, I'm just going to call it a ghoul, their head. And you notice like a couple others around here that there's fire. You can actually see some stuff in here, and they all have it. And they all have this kind of glowing kind of crystal thing right there in their heads. The other thing is you reach back to go to smack them. You recognize this person. Like you remember, you're thinking back to Fiddler's Convention. Some fella told you about Royster Whitaker and the trouble in Gilmer, and names kind of escaping you for a second, but then you kind of piece it together. It's a fella by the name of Otis Ray Quarles. It's one of the fellas that you all talked to when you were at the Fiddler's Convention. He was kind of telling you a little about everything that was going on with Whitaker and all the weird nonsense that's going on. He's a sort of a dark-skinned man with kind of a bald head. You can see it's definitely bald. He's got this scraggly beard that's left, but you can see underneath it, like the jaws kind of protruding here and there, eyes, bronze. He was alive just like maybe about 2 weeks ago or so.
What was his name again?
Otis Ray Quarles.
Okay. It's not the bullfrog guy. I think because that's the only one I remember.
That's the guy. That was one of the guys you spoke with. Yeah, but nah, it's
okay.
It's not Bullfrog. But you smack him in the back of the head.
I'm a little bit more weirded out about it. I kind of think about it because I recognize him. I'm like, I still got his back. I whack the back of his head and then run off.
You whack the
I'm
back of the
curious
head.
to see how
They stop. They're stirring this mash and they just stop.
I run. I'm like just running back to.
A couple moments pass, and then you see it starts stirring again.
I want to, as I see they're not like trying to pursue me, I want to like whisper that name out at them.
No recognition that you can tell.
That's attacking me. No recognition. Okay.
All right. What do the rest of you do?
I don't know what else to try right now.
Yeah, we'll check in.
Yeah,
check back.
I'll just go back to the group.
Do you share that information with us?
Yeah, I really I think this guy used to be one of the people that we knew. We saw him at the fair.
Been capturing them and turning them into zombies or something.
Yeah, they all look like their top of their head's been unscrewed.
Man. Oh man.
Oh, now Joe
Okay,
was fascinated with that.
A little while back, man, we was digging in some place. We saw some crystals. What glowed weird? Does that glow look like that glow in the place where we were digging?
That was like greenish, wasn't it? And this is more bronze.
The eyes are bronze, basically, like kind of that. This sort of dull glow to it.
You know, we popped that one guy's head off when Cletus killed him. Maybe we can go see if he's got one of the crystals in his head and go look at it.
I'll go grab the head.
Okay. Go grab the head. You bring it on back.
His face and mouth still moving.
No, face and mouth's not moving. It's just you tell now that you have. You bring it over. It's got some feminine features to it now that you have it up close, and you can see it's got the sort of delicate cheekbones here and there, but a worn face, like a person who's kind of lived a hard life, a little dirty, smudged here and there. That's when Louisa, you recognize the face as Mildred Robb. You met her when you were in Gilmer. A few of you were giving all hell to your granny woman.
Mm-hmm.
But then a couple of you were one. I think it was Louisa, and I think it was Dogmore, probably. Maybe even Double D, too. That were outside wandering around. And you met a woman whose husband was missing. Husband Thomas was missing. She had a little girl and everything. You recognize her face. Her head has been shaved. You can tell the hair has been removed from her head. And you see that same kind of like cut across the head here and there. Like it's like the whole long scar has been right atop the skull. And again, it's got that. It looks like what was sort of described. Someone said it like it looks like their head was kind of popped off and reattached. It does kind of have that look to it.
And Louisa will just sort of gasp.
Got one of them crystal doodads.
Oh, we know this woman. We spoke with this woman when we were in Gilmore.
Maybe you all did, but
Then we heard the unfortunate news that after we had left that area that the big boys and whatnot came in, and I thought that the story was told that they were asking questions and killing folk. Them that didn't give information about our whereabouts before we had a bounty on our here heads. Is this what they were doing? It's bad enough when I thought they were murdering folks, but they
Man.
Yeah, I mean, Amy done knew that one over there, and you done know this one here.
Right.
Joe, you want to take a gander, see what they doing with the head stuff?
They ain't got no cogs or anything in there that I know how to mess with. Louisa, you might want to. Can you talk to the spirits and such? Maybe. I mean,
I think that's a.
I take my
skill.
wrench out and I'm looking for something to apply it to, and I see
Man, no.
it's like,
I
You
I
done
don't
said
know a lot about them meat parts.
yeah,
you
no.
need an Allen wrench, man.
Oh, yeah. You don't say it looked like the top been taken off, put back on, right?
And,
Right.
yeah, and you could tell now that you have it up close, like the eyes are still glowing. You can tell like the eyes are normal, like the eyeballs and everything, but there's like this illumination coming from behind them, and that's where that light is coming from on their heads. And you
Kind of like how you crack open like a watermelon, you put your fingers in, you pull it apart.
Yeah, man. A
I'm gonna do
situation
that.
like this, I hate to admit it, but I think Double D's giving us some words of wisdom.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
time-
smart as shit.
You are smart as shit, man. This is a time where we need to do less thinking, more doing. I don't give a damn how they done what they're doing here, but why don't we just hustle our asses up and stop this bullshit?
I like your ideas. As I got like the skull
Yeah,
split in half
so
in my hands.
Double D, you pull the skull off. You pull the top part of the head off, okay?
Oh, that's gross, man.
And you can see that there is this small glowing bronze shim in the shape of a triangle that's been inserted into the remnants of the brain. The brain itself seems to have been messed with a bit. It's not all there, but whatever's left, you can tell that triangular bronze shim that's glowing is shoved into it, and that's what's kind of giving the light off, and it's coming out through the eyes.
I guess if we need to, we go for the head.
All right. Operation Zeta.
Zeta. Double Zeta.
Double Zeta.
Double D, double Zeta. Latest.
That when two people yell banana.
Hey, latest with Bladus.
I like it. Come on, Amian. You're playing now. Get your ass on over here.
You're playing now.
All right.
I'll just charge in.
Okay. Double D charges in. Who else does? Okay, Cletus charges in.
I'm following suit.
Okay. All right.
Louisa will.
Joe's just
well,
loading his guns.
Okay.
And Louisa was about to like smite either Double D or
Okay.
Cletus, and they just run off too quickly. And so Louisa will turn to Joe and be like, "All right, let me see one of those guns there."
Let's do a quick encounter really fast. Just everyone roll a skill and just describe and narrate what happens as you charge in to these working ghouls that are messing around at this still.
All right. This is easy enough to do. I'm going to become freight train of pain and Zeta formation.
Okay.
Roll myself.
Yeah, go
Fight.
for it. Roll your fighting test.
So just run through, swinging both hands, taking out zombies. Squish. I get a bonus. I get a thing. I get to add. What is it? It's not that one. It's that one. 8.
Okay. 8, you just go through and you just with your you punch one right square in the head, and the head just goes flying off. Top part of the head goes cradling off to the side like a bowl that just fell off a countertop. The brain just kind of flops out onto the dirt, the glowing shim there. And then with your other hand, you just kind of take another one out, the one that was kind of stirring over top of the kettle, and they just kind of turn around and look at you, and you just, like a punching bag, one after the other, after the other, after that. They don't move. They don't react. They don't fight back. They just sit there until you just pummel them until they're meat and they just fall to the ground.
Yeah.
Cletus, you were going in next. What do you do?
Man, well, he's going in like the freight train. He's like the obvious direction. I'm kind of like shadow stepping right alongside him. And I'm just waiting for the sumbitch who looks after these here ghouls to be like, what? And the first time I see somebody who looks even remotely confused, I'm going to sneak up on that sumbitch and throw a bear trap on his head.
Looking around. You don't see anyone here at all that does not look like one of these zombies.
Well, then I am not helping this skill challenge, am I?
It's just a quick encounter. That's what happened. Okay, so you're just looking and you're waiting around. You're kind of doing the lasso thing. It's getting kind of tiring because it's a lot heavier than a normal lasso. And it's going on for far longer than you think it should. You just still can't find anyone. Okay.
I'll just settle for like, eventually I'll just walk up to one of them and just put it on his head. You just kind of
walk
sigh
up
in a resigned fashion.
They just wait there as they're kind of looks like kind of pushing something underneath one of the stills, and you just walk up and you just see the teeth of the bear trap just collapse into the flesh, and they just
This is my new favorite
fall.
toy.
Okay. Anybody else want to add something to this?
Louisa got a 9 on her faith roll.
Okay.
So whatever Joe does will be +4.
You see, Joe, you loaded up your gun, you said?
Yeah, has there been much noise made yet, actually?
You guys have made a little bit of noise, but you haven't fired a gun or anything yet, if that's what you're asking. It's mostly just been conversation so far.
Okay. In which case, does it look like they've taken out a fair number of those things? Those things aren't looking like they're fighting back.
They are
either,
not fighting back whatsoever, and Double D and
In which
Cletus are
case-
just mowing them down.
I'm just going to cover them in weights of something like the boss man coming down or something. It looks like
Okay.
they've got this just fine, so I'm just going to kind of wait
Got your
and
glowing
see if something
gun
bigger comes out.
smited from
Yep.
Louisa, just looking. Okay. Amy and her dog in, are you adding anything to this?
Guess I'm gonna do a little wild, some attitude adjusting.
Okay. You're gonna go in with the attitude adjuster, start just bumping heads.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy.
I'll do a lot of attitude adjusting.
You
Oh my gosh.
you walk up to this
My
big
best roll I've ever had for a harmless opponent.
canoe.
25.
As a 25. You canoe a dude's head. Brain falls to the ground. You notice as it does, like you reach down, your finger kind of like your hand kind of comes in contact with that shim, and you see as the minute it comes in contact with your hand, as you just pound away with this attitude adjuster, it stops glowing. And then Amian, is there anything you wanted to do to add to this?
Did I have the chain of that bear trap?
No,
still?
Cletus. I think
Or
Cletus has
was
it.
that still? I wasn't sure if that was like still attached to the bear trap or not.
I think Cletus has it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna pass it off to you, man. You're kin now.
I want just the chain bit, and I want to like flail it into somebody.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So you just go around, just start whacking them down left and right, and they are just boom, boom. And by the time it's all said and done, every one of these worker ghouls is just wrecked. None of them fight back. All of them just get obliterated, and they're on the ground in pieces.
I feel bad, but I kind of don't feel bad.
I mean, we kind of set them free.
Their time had already come.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I wish your holiness there, Lisa, but it didn't seem proper.
Now,
I
Joe,
understood. What dog? What happened that your one isn't glowing over there?
Touched it. Go touch some more.
Joe, since you said you were looking around, you don't see anyone. No one comes, but you do notice some lights a little further up the way. Like, you can kind of vaguely make out what looks like some kind of fairly large cabin built into the side of the slope, about maybe half a mile up.
Well, if it looks like a building and nothing coming towards us, I'll wait till everybody is back together and tell them, hey, I think there's a cabin up there. Maybe the resident necromancer. I think that's the right word, right?
Could be.
I don't know. I trust you're right about it.
Sounds big and fancy enough. It could be. And Luisa's kind of going to each of the bodies here and just sort of just saying a little something just for their poor tortured souls.
If I can get to a couple more of those little things, I might touch them. See what happens.
Every time you do it, you can see the glow stops, like they depower. Like there's some kind of power that's going through them, but this is like weird science. This isn't just normal machinery. This is something that, mechanically speaking, no one knows how this works.
It might be useful to leave one of them untouched. Just we don't know what it does, but
I was curious if it'd make me more powerful.
Do radios? I'm not good on time periods. Would a radio exist that like my character would kind of know that there's like towers and?
Sure. I mean,
Things
this
to
is
pick it up?
sort of like 1930s ish. So yeah, I would say radios. But in terms of radio towers in the area, no, there's not really any radio towers. But I mean, the concept of it would be something you probably be familiar with.
cut
The
off in
concept.
this particular part of the world.
I
Right.
noticed the lights are going out of these things. Take a look up at the hill to see if there's any change in the light that's coming out of that
Nope,
cabin.
none at all.
At their cabin in the woods.
My question too. Is there a building of some sort here?
Yeah, you can see that most of the stuff that's here. There's quite a few stills, much larger than the ones down further on the slope. There's no bunkhouse here though. but there's like a tool shed and stuff like that. There doesn't seem to be anything around here to suggest someone stays here.
Oh man, do you think can you do that booming thing you did, except set it up to where it'll take a little bit of time for it to go? Like, let's say we want to go to that cabin. We set up one of these stills to go boom, but delayed a little bit, such
You
that
talk
we
about timer. I think I can make something like that.
like that way we can get ourselves good and snuck up to that cabin, and then kaplow, and they're like, "Oh shit, what happened?" And we're like, "Gotcha," because they're looking at the wrong thing.
I think
idea.
I can make some kind of timer to do that. Yeah, sure.
Repair test then, Joe.
Yeah, it's one of my skills as the MacGyver. I can make strange contraptions for one-shot devices.
Nice. What'd you have there, Chuck?
I was saying I agree with that plan.
Wow.
Whoa.
It will go off to the exact 10th of a second that we require it to.
Fair enough. Just say
Yeah,
when.
roll.
Just say when. That's what goes off. That's fine. We'll do anytime you want that thing to go off, just say so.
Amazing.
So yeah, you thoroughly scour this upper still. You find only these undead workers. You find no semblance of bunkhouse, of food, of drink, anything like that. This just seems to be entirely made of undead labor.
On up this glow house.
We heard there were some shambling people, and that did appear to be a truthful rumor.
Suppose that is one way to make yourself a profit. Be able to work 24/7.
Indeed.
I don't like it.
I don't either, man. I want to. You know how earlier I said I don't like when people are suffering? Maybe is it okay sometimes for somebody to have a little bit of suffering because they've been a real sumbitch?
It does seem
think
like
so.
a choice we have made along our way, that if someone's transgressions were severe enough, that we may even go as far as to take their life from them.
I buy that for $1. I just get on out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys start moving up in the direction of the lights that Joe saw. You've got your
Are any of these crystals like staying intact that are in their heads?
anything like they're all stuck in the brain, and really just the dog int one where he was just like obliterating that head, and it kind of fell to the ground and kind of touched his hand. Like other than that, they're all like as long as they stay embedded in the brain, still seem to be glowing, and some sort of power seems to be functioning through them.
I want to collect a few of them.
Okay.
I wonder if we put this in someone's head that we don't like, if it'll start doing stuff to them.
Okay. So yeah, you could say as long as you're careful, to not touch them. I'll say you'll collect 4 of them.
Not touch them like you got a cloth around them, or not touch them like you got to take the brain with it.
Carved out a chunk of the brain.
Oh.
Yeah. So you got 4 chunks of brain with some sort
Like
of
an olive.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a weird pimento right there.
Okay, so you guys then push forward up to these lights up on the slope.
While Dan is eating. This is good timing.
He's eating olives too.
I've heard of some of the stuff Dan eats. I don't think this is gonna bug him one bit. Like he's got an iron stomach. Okay, how are we approaching? Are we trying to approach with some semblance of stealthiness? Or are we trying to approach?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
If this person's using light, that's different. These dead people, they didn't need light. This is a live bastard. What needs light?
The snaking.
Snake.
Okay, everyone who's moving up, being stealthy about this. Everybody roll stealth test.
Oh boy.
I'm assuming it has not been another hour yet.
I would say, I mean, if you want, you could say you lingered for an hour. I'm okay with that.
I feel like we would.
That's
if
fine.
we saw that
Yeah, I mean,
she was needing to. for
smacking
sure.
around these things.
Yes.
Holy crap, Cletus.
Oh my gosh.
Cletus, where'd you go?
I got a 10.
Cletus rolls a 17.
I got a 21 after spending a chip.
Holy crap.
Whoa.
Oh my god. All right.
I wouldn't still be vulnerable, would I?
No, you wouldn't be vulnerable anymore now.
Okay, then I should have got a pass there.
Just emotionally.
Luis has got 5.
Okay.
Nice.
You-
You're super stealthy.
Very nice.
Me and my D4 actually got an explosion.
Okay.
Mine
Nice.
too.
What's your total, Doggin?
I don't know how much I get for. Double check how that works out here. I don't remember where I'm getting a -2 from.
I
Do you have
think
any
you might have a
wounds or
disadvantage. That
Oh, I do.
Okay.
Never mind. That's something else. I thought it was vulnerable giving that to me, but
Okay.
I guess I will have to re-roll that.
Okay. Burn that Benny.
Or we also
Good luck.
have boosts if you just want a +1 from the audience.
Just remember that
Oh.
we're supposed to be using the boost before we roll. instead
Oh,
of
yeah,
after.
that's true.
But we always forget about it, and the first time we do it, we're like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
If it's all right, we'll just throw a boost on it and just
That's fine for now. I don't mind.
call it a wash. I'll try to remember them next time.
Okay,
How many
so
do we have? Do we know?
80.
I mean, Melissa's running this show. Unlimited.
2,000.
Unlimited.
We had
Unlimited.
98.
We had 9 left over from last up, and we are currently at 10
That's
for
right.
the extras that we got.
You all slowly and carefully and quietly start moving up this slope in the direction of those lights very quietly. There's scattered trees and thickets and stuff you kind of keep to here and there. There is a path. You never quite stay on it. You stay to the edge of it. It kind of opens up a bit, and you see that there is a fairly large clearing with a very nice cabin up here of not inconsiderable size. Like it's a decent size, like 2-story and everything. It ain't the fanciest thing in the world, but it's bigger than like the coals that you saw down at the base of the mountain. And you see right out in front of it there's a fire that's brewing, fairly large bonfire, probably what Joe saw. And you can see that there looks to be about a dozen folk kind of hanging around there. You have a mix of folks. Looks like a few of them. You guys are close. You guys have seen it before. A few of them look like Kramer Holt agents. Actually, the guy that got that detective gear on, you see here and there. And then there's others that kind of look like just your average run-of-the-mill workers and such. About a dozen of them.
They all gonna die. Joe. Blow it up.
Right. We all take positions. We aim for them Kramer folks first.
Yeah, dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah,
Sounds-
Joe, take up aim on one of them that looks big and bad. If he's
No,
got
blow
that
your bomb
glow
up.
of
They want you. The bomb is the still from behind, right? Like that's
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Make sure I'm getting that right. Okay.
all right.
Time for the still to blow.
Okay. So this is what happens. The still's gonna blow. Is anybody else doing anything like prepping to do something at that point?
Got
We
my
just
ones,
want-
You
twos.
can aim. Like a
Well,
good
okay.
steady aim on one of those Kramer Holt folks.
Anyone who's using ranged weapons, though, check your range. Make sure, because you guys do have to get relatively close with shotguns to get any decent damage, stuff like that. So just check.
What
check.
is the range?
I think it's like
like how
12,
far?
12, 24, 12, 24, 48, I think is for. Oh, that's at least for the seed sower. I don't remember whatever. Yeah, 12, 24, 48 for the seed sower. So if you're trying to
How
stay,
about the pistol?
what's it called? Is that the peasant pumper?
The Mama's pistol.
I gotta check the range for the Tommy Deadman too. I think all the weapons have 12, 24, 48 in the module.
Mama's is 5, 10, 20.
Oh, so it's a shorter range. even.
Yeah.
I've got that seats over that you gave me there earlier, Joe. If you want to swap them out, that's a 12, 24, 48.
I mean, I thought I gave you the peasant pumper.
Oh, maybe I wrote it down wrong.
In which case, I mean, if I'm feeling like I'm stealthing really good, maybe get a little closer
Okay.
before I.
Sure, you can get close.
Okay.
All right. So I don't think you can't. You ain't getting 5 feet closer, but you can. I mean, you can't get like within 5 feet of them. Like that's just unrealistic.
Oh,
but,
no.
Yeah. But like you can get closer. That's fine. I don't mind. You could be within like
Sure.
the 20 feet.
Close
or so.
enough we can
It's okay.
jump out and be right in range.
Yeah. Because you are just kind of coming right up a hill towards this clearing. Okay, so then I got Joe getting ready to fire. We're gonna have an explosion. So when this explosion goes off, stuff's gonna happen. Okay, and so Louisa, you're gonna get your peasant pumper. You're gonna fire that. Then Double D and Cletus, what are you guys doing? What are the melee folks doing?
Getting ready to charge in.
Okay, so once that explodes, you're gonna get as close as you can for stealth.
Trying to get him with the drop.
And then go. Okay, and then Amian and Dogging. What are you two doing? I just want to get an idea of what you guys are doing.
I want to find something I can mess with that'll make it harder for them. But what's the scene kind of look like? I guess
so you're coming up,
rushing into.
You're coming up this incline, this rocky incline. There's a mildly trodden down path that kind of weaves its way through like this rocky incline and a bunch of thickets and trees scattered about here and there, fairly wide. And that goes and weaves its way down to the still below. Then there's like a kind of a plateaued area, and then the slope kind of continues up afterwards, but it's much more vertical, so it's like right up against the back of like a rock walls where this cabin is. So it's kind of like the end of the road that you can walk on. Everything after this, you would kind of have to like climb a vertical wall of the mountain.
Okay. I might just try out. I've got my shotgun that I picked up a skill for, but haven't used too much. So I'll try using that.
Okay.
So I'll move up to where I'm within decent range for it.
Okay.
Probably have my shotgun ready, but maybe hold back just in case there's something interesting to, throw a bomb at or something.
Okay. So you guys all sneak up as close as you can. You're just waiting. And then finally, an freaking inferno erupts about a quarter mile away, where it's just like this orange yellow mushroom cloud coming up from the still below. Everybody go ahead and roll a notice test.
It's 5.
5.
I'm too intent on my target. 2.
Or
Did anybody roll a 9 or higher?
I rolled exactly a 9.
9. Okay. Amian, as this thing explodes, it causes a bunch of light to suddenly come into the sky. Like there's this like fireworks are erupting. And you see in the thickets to the side of you, left and right, about a dozen or more folks waiting and waiting. Like they're just there, guns out, kind of pointing at you. You guys have walked into one hell of a trap, and you hear a voice, this kind of surprisingly high-pitched voice coming from like the door of the cabin. You hear, "Oh, y'all went and blew up another one of my stills? I don't know exactly where you are out here, but I know you're somewhere. Might as well come on out. We'll just start firing if that's the case. If not, I'm sure we put enough bullets out in the air. We'll take y'all down." Oh, you didn't think I seen the other one? You already blew one of them up. Come on. Don't be shy. I know Amos sent you.
I'd be I'd be looking around trying to get eye contact or like non-verbally communicate as well as I can with anybody.
Okay. You guys suddenly I would say, Amian, you suddenly realize that it's not just a dozen of these folks that are up there by the fire, but there's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 20 to 25 that have you kind of like horseshoe surrounded here. If they've been sort of just luring you in, and now you're here. And you see standing in the doorway of the cabin, you can see a little bit of a light behind him, is this short, heavy-set man with a big old long black beard. He's got like coveralls on. He looks kind of messy, maybe in his 60s and stuff. Come on out, man. We don't need to kill you. I mean, we can. I can always use more labor.
Did did like the people in the brush seem to have noticed this? Like, are they looking
You can
directly
tell.
at us?
So you guys all have different stealth scores. A few of you, they haven't noticed, but you get the sense that some people, like, there are guns being pointed at some of you.
I mean, do we go talk or do we go in fighting?
So so Joe calculates the odds in his head,
Okay.
throws the shotgun over his shoulder nonchalantly, and just walks out in the open and said, "I'm the one who blew up your stills."
Okay.
And maybe because of my stealth score, I just like appear out of nowhere.
Yeah. Everyone had already like jumped at the sound of the still exploding. Like they kind of, I mean, like they're like, "What the hell is that?" And then all of a sudden you pop out and like, "Oh God!" Like just right out of the darkness, like 7-8 feet away, you just pop out. Like, well, damn, son,
I'm real good at blowing things up, fixing things too.
you're real good about giving everyone here a heart attack, just popping up out of the darkness like that. What the hell's wrong with you?
Louisa will follow.
Well, folks say
Joe
there's a
out.
lot wrong with me. So I just walk forward,
Okay.
gun over my shoulder, just nonchalant like.
And so like you walk forward, but like you can tell that some of these folks that are around this bonfire, Kramer Hold's agents, they're kind of giving you a really close eye. Others just look like, worker types, mercenary things. Nothing, they don't look like they have any kind of specific like uniform or whatever. But he's keeping his distance. Like he's still in the doorway of the cabin. And he's like, "Well, what's your name, son? Ma'am? Welcome to
Joe.
my abode." Joe. Okay. My name's Fergus Dugan. Pleasure to make your acquaintance there, Joe.
Got my bowler at him.
Yeah.
Spot hungry. You got any victuals?
You want me to offer you food after you just blew up 2 of my stills?
Hard work makes a hungry man.
Mm-hmm.
I just nod like, yeah.
Does that
Hard.
mean dog getting stuffed out?
Yeah. I mean, I did horrible on stealth, so.
So
More
he calls down. Oh, go ahead.
lean on over, Cletus. Ninja formation. Two of us melt into the shadow, dragging Amian with us.
Just pick me up.
Sorry, I'm just going back to check stealth roll. What was your stealth roll again, Double T?
88.
That's not what you rolled, you liar.
I don't remember. I think it was
I heard
like
a
10,
five.
maybe.
I heard
5.
a
It might have been a
5.
5. I might
That's
have
what I
done
had.
bad.
So we had the same thing.
Okay.
They just see you with Amian on your shoulders.
Just see Avian floating.
Amian and Bleedus.
So he calls down. He's like, "Harley, you make sure your bosses know that I need 2 more stills all repaired. Chop, chop, if you please." And you see this one woman who's down by the fire, kind of garbed up like some of these Kramer Holt folks. She's very, very thin. She's got even thinner eyebrows than she does a body, and she's dressed in like this navy blue dark color that's barely coming through in the darkness, and she's got this mighty big shotgun kind of over her shoulder, kind of slung on a loop, similar to you've seen some of these folks before. And she just looks up, "Fergus, you could have stopped these folks a lot sooner, and I don't see why you got to go letting them blow up your. I'll let them know, but they have a limit to their patience here." And he's like, "No, they don't. They do not. They might have a limit to patience, but they don't have a limit to their materials. They can get me as many stills as I want, and if they want old Amos to get taken down, well, then they're damn well going to do what I say." And then she's like, "Fergus, that is not the attitude to take, but duly noted." Like, "All right, now listen, y'all. Y'all, Amos sent you. Let's just let the cat out of the bag here. That's right. Oh, hey, we got another fella here. What's your name there?" And he's looking over at Doggin.
Doggin.
Doggin, huh? You that moonshiner from the dog family? Everything kind of tastes like hairs in it.
I mean, that's kind of like my special ingredient.
Yeah, I heard of you. Okay, pleasure to meet your
Everybody's got a
acquaintance.
little dog in them.
Yeah, you know, most folks don't like hair in their liquids.
That's probably why my cells aren't so great.
Yeah, that's probably wise. You might want to go ahead and make some adjustments, assuming you all I let y'all leave. Now, here's the thing. I know y'all are working for old Amos, and y'all have destroyed 2 of my stills, and a lesser man might take that personally. But I am not a lesser man, and I am overjoyed to tell y'all that you have come here on a fine occasion. That occasion is it is your lucky day. Now, I got an offer for y'all, right? A right good bargain. Y'all want to hear it?
I mean, we have any choice.
Oh, you got plenty of choices. I can let old Justice Harley here haul you on up out of here, take you over. Where do you think you're gonna send? They gonna go over to Folsom? They going to Bondurant? And she just kind of looks up. You got a big mouth, Fergus. Got a big mouth. It's gonna be one of them two, probably.
That doesn't sound very fun.
I don't think it's meant to be. One's a prison, one's an asylum. Those don't sound like wonderful places to be.
No.
I mean, I could just say, get them. And we just add you to the pile. You want to get added to the pile, doggy?
Not really. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of men and a
Bill's
whole
just
lot
got
of
this
thoughts going on here, but I
Staring
like
at
it
the
still.
person,
Yeah.
passive look, just completely just.
He's like, well, dog, and here's the thing. Not only will I allow you and your, whatever the hell y'all are, leave the mountain, my mountain, without an extra scratch in your faces or hair ripped out of your scalps or nothing like that. I will go ahead and sweeten that deal with just a not inconsiderable sum of scrip and maybe even a shooter or two. We got plenty here, courtesy of the big boys. Ain't that right? Ain't that right, Harley? Fergus, will you just get to the point already? Okay. Now, here's the thing. I promise not to let these agents here take you all right, Folsom, Bondurant, or whatever. I can't really control what they do once we're off the mountain. I can just tell them what to do with y'all while you're on my mountain.
Right.
Here's the thing, though. I want you all to head on back to he kind of does this, head on back to old Cherry Mountain, and, do to Amos that which you just done to me. It only seems fair. Take out all his stills.
Good for my long-term business.
Well, there you go. That's very optimistic of you.
Well, it didn't actually seem particularly fair, as you seem to have the market, as it were, on the beings that don't require no sustenance or rest.
Madam, do you have something against ingenuity?
I do believe that the human soul is worthy of taking a rest once it has
Oh, they ain't
completed its,
souls. They ain't no souls in them. What you talking about? They're just a bunch of meat moving around, courtesy of
just unnatural.
some of that weird science from the city. That's all they are. They ain't no one in there no more.
I'm not so sure about how I feel about some kind of science and like that. It just ain't right.
Well, that's a shame then, I suppose. We'll just have, okay, go ahead, kill her. Whatever it is you want to do, drag her off and throw her off the cliff, shove a shim in her forehead, whatever it is you want to do is fine.
Expressing an opinion, not necessarily speaking for the outcome of this here conversation with the group.
This all y'all's, I don't think, 1, 2, 3, 4, you? 3 you? Nah, it's got to be more. Well, my feller said there was a big old fat fella with you. I don't
I
see.
don't know. A couple of them tend to kind of run away when things get weird.
Got some cowards among you. Okay. Y'all are the brave ones, I see. Well,
So, question: has this person come out of the doorway of the cabin yet?
no.
Brave or maybe stupid. I'm not sure. Probably stupid, but yeah.
No, he is clearly in the doorway. He has about a dozen folks and Kramerhold agents, and between you and him, and the area is lit by bonfire. Meanwhile, Double D, Cletus, Amian, what have you all been doing?
Well,
I've been tempted to buy him time.
I love to
Around the
find
back.
myself. It might take a little bit to trick around the long ways, but my thing is, I love to get up high and then drop down.
Okay.
Hey, you either get up high and drop down, or we go in and see this back door on the cabin.
All
Okay.
right. I'll go high, you go low.
Amen. Which one?
Yeah. How was the cliff how tall was it?
So the mountain goes vertically up behind the cabin. So
Okay.
you'd be literally doing rock climbing at that point.
I don't go low. I don't think I'll be too good at that.
Okay. So when you say go low, you're going to stay on the ground. You try to skirt around the camp. And look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I? Yeah, it's a question, I guess.
I like back
Making
wall.
sure I got understand. Can I get around the back of the cabin?
You can certainly try.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. We're all gonna go back down, go real wide, try to get around the back of the cabin. So Cletus can go up. I'm gonna try and get in the back door.
Okay.
That way I can
As
sneak
you
up
do.
behind there.
Okay. Double D, you're going to try to sneak around the back. Amy, what are you going to try to do?
I was also gonna try and sneak along.
Okay.
back.
Double D and
So,
Amy
assist with
together.
that.
Okay, so Double D and Amy are together. Cletus, what are you trying to do?
I'm also trying to sneak up and around, except my point of view is to get up as high as possible and then drop down.
Okay, so you want to try to find a point where you can climb on top of the cabin? Is
Mhm.
that fair to say? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So your stealth tests going back, Amy, you had a 7. Double D out of 5. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then Cletus, what'd you have?
17.
All right. I have some good news and bad news. I have some good news and bad news. Good news is Cletus, you are unnoticed as you, in your Appalachian ninja ways, you hear the conversations happening. You just kind of find one patch of darkness, another patch of darkness, creep down inside of this thicket, scramble over to this bush,
I'm all covered in mud by this point, too.
face and arms covered in mud. None of that light is shining off you whatsoever. You're like military belly crawling underneath what looks like a whole mess load of spiky, thorny bushes. And you come up to the base of the cabin. You start to climb. Go ahead and give me an athletics test.
Oh, Lord, don't fumble. We've got some bonuses, don't we?
We do.
Might take like
Yes, we do.
One of them.
We've got plenty.
I'll take at least one of those. That turned it into an 8, a raise.
Cletus, you climb quietly, stealthily, with a good, moderate pace, and you find yourself on top of the second story of this here cabin. Double D and Amian, you follow Cletus for a little bit
Uh-huh.
until you hear the pulling of like a cock of a gun, and you hear a voice, "Now what you boys doing?" And you look up, and there's 5 Kramer Holt agents. Each one of them's got a gun down on you as you guys are doing the whole belly crawl underneath the thorny bushes. You go to get up and climb, and all of a sudden it's that moment where it's like, oh, there's a gun right in my forehead right here as I step up. And there's like 5 of these dudes looking around, and you're, 15 feet away from the campfire.
Good evening, gentlemen. Just out for a stroll, don't mind us.
I found that fat one over here.
You son of a bitch.
Come on, big boy. Let's go. You too, little one. Come on. Out of the darkness into the light. Let's go. Let's go. Up you go. Come on now. And they kind of they keep the guns on you, and they're like, oh, come on. Go, go, go.
All right, I'll go.
Fight it.
And then you hear Fergus just say, "Oh, there we go. That's more like it. I thought I heard something about one of them big fellas around here. You are a big fella. Look at you,
Hey,
man.
Ran away the wrong way, those darn idiots.
I see that whole the hair thing has evacuated your scalp and seems to have extended to various other parts of your body. That's all right. That's all right." What name would you go by there, big fella?
Double D.
Double D. What's the D?
Hey.
What's the D stand for?
D's nuts.
Yes.
And in spite of himself, Fergus busts out laughing. Just oh, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. Oh goodness. Well, now that y'all are here, I will present to you my offer. As I said, you all go ahead and head on back. Get on over onto Cherry Mountain. Do the same thing you done to my stills over to Amos. Cletus, what do you want to do?
I want to drop the bear trap on his head.
All right, go for it, man.
We're all gonna die.
You, not this session as we're at the end, but next time, yeah, I think all you will. Go ahead, do your jump on him. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know if you'd rather that be a fighting or an athletics. I'm glad to roll either.
Whatever you want, it's fine.
Take that bonus.
Get that
I
bear
would
trap on there.
How much bonus can I use?
I think we were +2 is the max. Yeah.
2?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll use 2.
Got it.
Okay. I'll do it as a fighting. Just kind of crawl down, try and get into a good spot. Oh, I forgot to add there'd be another 4 on top of that for the drop.
So 12. Okay, that would
12.
be that's enough for 1 raise.
Amazing. So it's 2d6?
Is that what
Or should
you're just dropping on him? Yeah, it's fine.
No, actually, I'm gonna drop on him. The bear trap is funny,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I am just drop. I'll just do my punch and damage.
Okay.
It's more fun that way.
That's fine. You jump down to punch him. Okay, go ahead.
Raise damage. So we got the drop. We're gonna get him in the head. It's gonna be great.
Oh goodness.
Whoa.
17? Is that right?
17. I know. Should I re-roll that?
Gosh, it could have done better, but
I'm gonna re-roll it with Benny.
Go for it.
Oh.
Wow.
could have
Okay.
done
You still
worse.
take the 17.
Wow.
You can still take the 17. So you do
Okay.
17 points of damage, which, because he is a wild card, I will go ahead and burn a Benny. And I will try to soak some of this. He does not have good vigor, though. That's
Ooh,
not
boy.
good vigor. I have a D4 for vigor. That's
Oh, no.
It's not good at all.
Wow.
That's pretty terrible. Okay. All right. I rolled good on my D6 though. Okay. So I soak one of them. So you did 17 points of damage. That would have done 3 wounds to him. It would have shaken him, and then it would have done 3 wounds on the dot actually. But I soak one of the wounds, so he will take 2 wounds and he will be shaken. As Cletus, describe what it looks like as you appear.
I like to think that he goes to try and do the bear trap thing. He realizes he's not going to be able to make it work. And it just looks like off the top rope, a giant jumping cross body splash belly flop.
as you come slopping down. It's like, I'm going to now present you my final offer here before something terrible. Oh, God! Oh, gee! Dear Lord! As he gets flopped down to the ground, everybody suddenly, all of these Kramer Holt agents, these mercs, pull their guns up, pull their weapons out, pointing them at everybody. Cletus, Double D, Doggin. You see the people that were hiding out inside the trees surrounding are starting to move forward. We will sure as hell not do this tonight because this is going to take a while, and we are exactly at time. But we will pick up right there and see the fate of the party is very much in the balance.
It ain't no problem.
I don't know that's going to take very long.
You guys are outnumbered like a lot. 24
25 people
24 or
aim
so,
their guns
something
and
like
shoot.
that. And he
We
ain't
got
even
it.
dead.
Each of us just needs to kill 4. Is that right?
Okay.
Man, stop doing math, Double D.
All right, my bad.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So everybody, with the exception of Cletus, is currently surrounded at this bonfire by several Kramer Holt agents. Double D is flat on top of Fergus Dugan
Cletus.
inside of the doorway of his cabin, and there are just so many people here that are going to hurt you, but not this time. We'll be in 2 weeks, so we're closer to the Christmas time, so they can hurt you. Great. And I think
it's Christmas miracle.
yeah, and I think next time we play Holler, we might have a giveaway too. I think we're gonna do a dice giveaway in 2 weeks too. So come back for that.
Ooh.
Yeah. We're doing a bunch of these this week or this month, I should say. Okay.
Nice.
Why don't we go ahead and do our closing round table, and then we'll get the hell out of here. So Chuck, what's going on with DOK this week?
Yeah. Wednesday at 9 p.m. over on Defenders Cobalt, we're going to be wrapping up chapter 1 of All Fear the Ishtar. You can see Jeff and Dan and Jeremy and Bert over there. Not Joe and Melissa, though. I'm sorry.
You're not.
You're right. Thursday, we're currently scheduled for a session of Watercolors and Warriors, Tales from the Loop. See if it happens. I think that's starting at 10 now. Friday, Joe is very thankful that once again for the 18th week in a row that I'm saying it's going to be our final session of our Dungeon Crawl Classics Dead Sun campaign. That way Joe can start running Heart. I'm not doing it on purpose, Joe, I promise.
It's fine.
And then that was Friday. Saturday, we got a double header. 1 p.m. over on Grim and Perilous Plays. We're going to be doing some Tales from the Loop. Check Jeff and Dan and Melissa over there for that.
I don't know. Melissa's going to be in there at this point, though.
If I keep being a smart ass.
And then Saturday night on Goodman Games Official, we got something going on, but I'll let Bert talk about that.
All right. Very, very nice. Jeremy, tell us about this Patreon.
Yeah, every week on Patreon, you've got some tokens, some RPG assets, some comics, fun stuff. Check it out.
Fantastic. Speaking of zombies, you just put out some zombie stuff, but like 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago or
some
something.
undead tokens,
Undead stuff, yeah. And then Bert, tell us about Steam Steal and Murder.
Yeah, we are running this Tuesday night, tomorrow night. We're actually playing Greyhawk Wars, the board game, which we're using for setup for our 2nd edition campaign in Greyhawk that will follow after whatever happens on the board game. Friday, we've got some BX Dungeons and Dragons going on. This Saturday, I am running Weird Frontiers, a DCC horror Western, using on the Goodman Games official channel with some folks in here. But more importantly, check out a Kickstarter that's going on right now that I had a large amount to do with, Dicey Tales version 2. It is fully funded. We are $20 away from making the first stretch goal. We are going to have more. And depending on how well it does, will depend on how much time we are going to put into making more resources for this game. So check it out if you like pulp RPG in the many genres that pulp can be done in.
Very good, very good. Sorry, I was trying to scramble to get the Kickstarter link there, dropped in the channel. I'll put it in the description of the YouTube video as well. As for us here, tomorrow night, our good friend Steven is going to be starting up part 3 of our Haunted West campaign, our The Good, the Mad, the Unholy. Chuck's going to be joining us for Arc 3, the final arc. And not only that, we're going to be giving away a set of Norse Foundry dice and a boulder. If you haven't seen these boulder dice, like these giant golf ball size metal D20s, you can murder someone with them. It's pretty great. So that's going to be fun. So we're going to do that tomorrow. Friday, we're doing a special... The name of the arc, Stephen, is the Reverend Purdy, everyone's favorite character, and if he were to die, would probably ruin the story entirely. It's honestly kind of like killing a puppy or something like that on live television. What the hell is wrong with you? Part 2 or something. I don't know. And then on Friday this week, we're also going to be doing a special holiday thing for 2 weeks now. We're going to do it for 2 weeks for the next 2 Fridays. We're going to play some Regency Cthulhu. Which is Jane Austen meets Call of Cthulhu. We're going to be doing, I call it Winter at Terryford or Christmas at Terryford, something like that, one of the two. So come hang out for that. Saturday, we're going to do our One Ring second edition as per usual. And then next Monday, as our Call of Cthulhu group is on break until January, we're going to do some one-shot action. I'm not sure what we're doing just yet. Maybe Electric Bashland, maybe Troika. One of those two probably. We'll see. But thanks to everyone who hung out tonight. Thanks to the players for being weird, and yeah, thanks for the bits and for all the support. We're gonna go ahead and raid our friends over at Talking XP, where Extel, who was in Arc 2 of our Good, the Mad, the Ugly, is playing some Dungeons and Dragons. So follow the raid, say hello to them, follow us, follow these people, and we'll see you next time. Have a good week.
Bye.